Hello, everybody, and welcome to Speedballin, the Recovery Podcast. My name is the professor himself, Nico, alongside my co-host, Josh, the Pharaoh himself. How are you doing, Josh?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
That's what I thought. Also joining us today again is Catholic Mike. Say hello.
Hello, Catholic Mike.
Yes, all right, he understands words. Good. So, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you all here. I have been sweating all day, and I'm disgusting, but it's okay. It's okay. How was your week? Review your week for us.
It was pretty good.
It was boring.
Nah, not really. But it wasn't exciting.
Isn't that boring? Doesn't that qualify as boring?
No, boredom is just misplaced or misinterpreted peace.
Misinterpreted piece.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. If you're bored, then you're just peaceful and you don't even realize it.
Interesting. That just sounds like boredom with extra steps.
Nah, it's enjoying your boredom.
Well, because we're so busy now, like you always, I got to do this, I got to do that. Now, if you're just bored, you're like, man, there's nothing I want to do. You just sit there and just kind of,
Just the hustle and bustle of life, right, Mike?
Yeah.
It's got you all in a tizzy.
Yeah, I slept 16 straight hours yesterday.
I wish.
I've been breathing paint for the last 12 hours.
Yeah, that's called a free lapse.
Not on purpose. I've been painting my new apartment. That it's no longer...
Month-old mustard.
Yeah, month-old mustard is what Mike called it.
That's a good name for it.
It was pretty accurate, I say.
Yeah.
It's like, you know when you have mustard and after a while it gets, turns brown and then green? We're kind of like getting towards that, more like brown, like old mustard. So.
Yeah, it was very earth tone.
Earth tone.
Earth tone, yeah.
More like diarrhea, but...
Josh and the Earth Tones.
Oh, that's the new band name.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got some topics to cover today because, I have had quite the escapades in my job, in my life, and everything. Work is currently a nut house. I have just nothing but crazy people so far, which, don't get me wrong, par for the course, but good Lord, I am going through it right now with some of these people. It's like straight up denial in my face. I'm like, this is bonkers. How does this and I go, how does this exist? And I'm like, well, I guess I was this person a while back too, and so I guess I do know. But at the same time, I'm like, this why are you repeating yourself? I'm debunking everything, and it's still bugging you. Why? How? That's just my question, is how.
Well, they're sick people, Nico.
Indeed they are. It's funny, I actually have a patient that comes to me and it's like, everyone's bugging the crap out of me, and I'm like, that makes sense. Because they're like, why? It's like the healthiest person in the center at the moment, and they come to me and they're like, why is everyone coming to me and asking me about their problems and telling me about everything? I'm like, because you are the smartest person in the room at the moment.
Feels weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, just tell them that, and literally my advice was, tell them to, first of all, you got to assert yourself, assertive communication, and you have to set the boundary of, I'm focusing on my own recovery, and your mode right now is getting in the way and pissing me off. I was like, you got to just set the boundaries and be honest, because that's how you get it to not happen again. And then I just watch, and they still try to play problem solver. I'm like, that's my job, but okay. At least you're not as sick as everybody else, but...
Well, they probably are.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they're letting sick people use them, so
Yeah, well, I mean, that's also a way to get like your codependency fix. The
Yes.
need to be needed.
That's exactly what it is, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a total codependency thing. Were you a big codependent person or no?
I mean, I really liked isolating, but I relied heavily on my roommate to take care of things.
Oh, like
Yeah.
what?
Like, you know, like cleaning the house and feeding the dog and doing all that. And then I just went to work, paid bills, and did heroin.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is the life right there.
It was pretty glamorous, you know.
The glamorous life of a heroin addict.
Yeah.
Very glitzy, apparently.
What does glitzy mean?
It's like, it's like glamorous. It's very, awestruck, I
Quit
guess.
being gay over there. Just shut up.
Nico, that's enough out of you.
No, it's enough out of you, Mr. Sir.
I could just shut you. I could unplug your mic right now and just shut you off. That'd be.
I will fire you in 2 seconds.
I have the power.
I thought he said glizzy.
No, glitzy with a T.
Oh, okay.
He's got a lot of them in his mouth right now. That's why.
What is a glizzy?
A hot dog.
It's Chicago slang for hot dog.
Yeah, wiener.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either, but I don't get most things nowadays.
'Cause
I
you're
just
like
show
40.
up to work. What?
Because you're like 40.
Yeah, he's closer to 40 than I am, Mr. Gray Hair. Shut your trap.
Yeah,
Shut your trap music.
I'll be 38 in 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thanks.
25 years old over there.
Oh, I'll be 26 in 2 weeks.
You're a baby. You're a child.
Yeah.
You're 26 and you got that much gray hair,
Yeah.
Dude.
bro. What are you worried about?
Nothing. I'm just Polish on my mom's side. And that's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah. The Polish people, they go gray quick.
Yeah, all the men on my mom's side of the family either bald or balding. So that's what I have to look forward to.
Really?
Yeah, because it's matrilineal. You get your,
Am I looking at
balding.
future George Costanza?
I hope not.
I don't know. My brother started losing his hair at 26. So you'll know if you're going to lose your
Yeah.
hair or not.
I mean, I got a little bit of a widow's peak going, but it's a little thin in the corners, but it's like it's too early to tell. And I
Yeah.
can't even.
No, your hairline looks great.
Oh, thanks.
You look great today, Mike.
You know what, Nico and Josh, you guys look great too.
Oh,
There
thank
go.
you. I mean, I'm covered in sweat and paint, but thank you.
Love you just the same.
That's what's up. That's what's up. But, I don't know. I have a weird question. Like, are Catholics, like, usually alcoholics?
Like, I guess it depends on like where they are in their spiritual life. Like, are they like recovering alcoholics that eventually turn to Catholicism, or are they like did they?
See, I'm minus that category. Like, normal people, do they drink a lot? Or I hear there's like a trope kind of.
Well, the
about-
Irish Catholic.
Well, yeah, that's because they're Irish. They
That's
tend to
because
do
they're
that.
Irish,
But
yeah.
I mean, average Catholic probably like our friends from the young adult group have a drink here with dinner, or maybe 2 drinks at most. But it's not really like you go out. You go out and you have dinner with friends, and you
Yeah,
get
well,
like
I mean,
a beer or something. It's
what-
not like excessive.
What's even the point? But,
Well, you know that with alcoholics, like alcohol when it hits your system, it processes differently. There's a stage in your liver where it changes it into a different chemical. So when normal people start to get a buzz, like that's enough for them. For alcoholics, it's just like, oh, all right, how can I get even more out of this?
exactly.
Yeah.
The answer is cocaine.
Yes, that's true.
And that's usually where I end up if I take a drink.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I think it was Kirk Weinstein, the guitar player for
Is he Jewish?
Crowbar. Yeah, but he had this quote. He said, "At the bottom of your second beer is your coke dealer's phone number."
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Wow. I've never heard that.
Yeah, it's written on the bottom of each glass.
Oh, wow.
Also, good guitar player.
Also Jewish.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's relevant.
I don't know. It's just his last name is really Jewish.
Oh yeah. But I mean, you've been on Instagram too much, Nico.
The reels have got to him.
Yeah.
Realsy, really.
You know, I just recently started getting into Instagram. Like I was more on Reddit until they banned my account.
For what again? What was it for?
It was on like a superpowers subreddit.
Oh yeah, you were
And
telling the story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somebody asked a question, and I was like, "Oh, well, you would have to kill that guy." And then like, yo,
They
you
banned you
promoting
for talking
violence.
about murder.
murder on for superpowers. Yeah, like it's like
It's a total what if situation.
a total hypothetical situation of self-defense.
in Minecraft.
Yes.
in Minecraft. Wow.
I mean, if you're getting banned off Reddit, I mean, that's a step in the right direction in my book. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm convinced that Reddit like targets your account based on your political affiliation. You know, I don't really have a political affiliation, but I guess my values are more right-leaning.
Relatively so.
Yeah, because I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I don't have a political affiliation. To me, it's all one big-ass puppet show.
That's about right. We're in the Matrix.
Yeah.
It's whatever. I've just accepted it.
Yeah.
The sooner you accept it, the faster you can get on living your life, you know? I mean,
That's actually the topic I was thinking about bringing to the meeting. I gotta bring a topic to a meeting on Wednesday.
oh, what's the topic?
Acceptance.
Oh, acceptance. Oh,
Yeah.
let's talk some acceptance. That's my favorite friggin' subject because it's like, especially at meetings, if I'm chairing a meeting, give me acceptance because, number one, the newbies are there and they're going to love hearing about it because it's like, oh, we're all the same people. We're all fighting the same battle here on different levels. But, you know, that's what's going to keep the newbie coming back is that talk about acceptance because that's a level playing field in my book.
Yeah, I mean, acceptance for me feels more like giving up.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, so you can't explain it.
Well, it's like, you know, when I accepted that I couldn't use successfully, that there was no such thing as that for me. Like, Josh can't just smoke a little weed.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
No. Then, you know, a little bit of weed in a couple of days turns into a little bit of weed and whiskey because I don't pit stop at beer. No. It was half of one.
It was half
That was
of one.
half of one. You got 50 cents, bro?
2 quarters.
But
Goyim.
but yeah, so it's like I don't pit stop at beer. I go straight to whiskey. And then, you know, I wake up with a hangover and I'm just like, yeah, drinking really sucks, but I'm already, you know, using and getting high. Might as well, you know, smoke a little crack.
Just jump straight to it.
Yeah, well, I mean, because cocaine gets your nose all clogged up the next day, and it's just a whole ordeal. When you can just smoke rocks.
Smoke that rock, bro.
And then when I'm doing that, then I'm going to do Xanax to come down. And then all of a sudden, I'm in fentanyl withdrawal, and I don't know how it happened.
Like, how did we get here?
So, like, coming to that conclusion, like, multiple times over and over and over, like, I had to give up on the fact that I could use successfully. So I guess, you know, that's where I get that from.
It comes off so negatively.
What, giving up?
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Well,
I love giving up.
Well, the distinction I want to make is like you offer it up
Offer
instead
it up.
of giving it up.
That's surrender. Surrender sounds way better than giving up, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it
it's the
still has a
same
negative connotation, but like when you look at the
It does. Yeah,
like
you're right.
from the Catholic point of view, you've got, you know, you offer up your sacrifice, or you offer up your, let's say your you know, your hardships, you know, you had a rough day at work, you know, you kind of just not, you know, like you accept the fact that these things happen, but you're giving that up to God.
Steps 2 and 3, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Catholicism. It's like we came up with it.
It is, yeah, the 12 steps are heavily influenced by Christianity and Catholicism.
I walked into work the other day and old Sheffy was like, yeah, man, I just was listening to it one day, and all of a sudden Josh started talking about Magic Sky Wizard Jesus in front of my wife, and she was like, "What are you listening to?" He's like, "Do not judge me."
I do like to say that. And a lot of people, like, even Brittany, like, whenever she found out that I was Christian, like, she didn't believe me at first and then open mouth laughed at me. And I was like, no, I'm, like, serious. Yeah. Because I told her yoga was against my religion.
Which it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had to explain it.
If Catholic Mike says it, it's true.
Yeah, well, all of the yogic poses were handed down by the Hindu gods as a form of worship and to gain power from those gods. So
That's breaking the first commandment, bro.
yeah.
It's a big old no-no.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, you're serious." And now we've been together for 2.5 years.
Dude, that is love.
There you go.
I love it. I love it. But, acceptance, right? I accept that I cannot drink. I don't know why you don't drink, Mike, but it's...
Yeah, just never. I mean, I tried it a couple times in college, and I was just like, I was surrounded by people that were just everyone was just drinking just to get drunk, and it was like, I don't really. And I knew them when they were sober. I would hang out with them and play music or whatever, and then we would hang out when they would get drunk, and it was like, just sloppy. I was like, it's just, I don't know. It's bad to be not only surround yourself with people like that, but also to take part in that. And it was all like drinking games and stuff. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll try it. I'll take a sip. But it was like,
Yeah.
It's like you have to drink a lot of it in order to like enjoy the taste. And by that time you're already out. So
Yeah.
New perspective right there,
It's kind of like how come I never got into Molly. Because I went to this rave party one time, and everyone was, like, sweating and pale and playing with baby toys. And I was just like, that doesn't look like a lot of fun, I showed up a little late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an odd scene to walk into, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everyone's saying, I'm rolling dick. I'm like, that just does not look like a great time.
No, I mean, I'm going to roll on out of here then, bro.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think it's interesting because it's like we don't drink because we had to find out the hard way. Over here, found out the easy way. He just was like, I don't like it. And that's $1. Whoops.
Yep. Yeah.
I've yet to swear on the show, so I'm going to keep that going for as long as I can.
You little bitch.
So, hey, the audio tech and the host can fund the show. There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and he needs to live up to his name of Catholic Mike.
Exactly. He does. We'll try to get him to
okay.
swear.
So we did the event last night at the cathedral. Father John bumps into me again. He knows my face because I've seen him around a bunch of times, but he forgot like my name. He was like immediately started talking about like, oh yeah, you want to join the seminary? I was like, yeah, I thought about it a lot. And Emily's in the background just like watching me talk to Father John.
Oh, she's like spying on you.
She's not like spying. She was there standing and she's kind of just like kind of overhearing our conversation. I was like, yeah, I thought about it a lot, but I don't know if that's really for me. So
I don't know what that means. What
seminary?
Yeah,
what is training to be a priest?
It's like high school for priests, basically.
Oh.
They all go to school and they do like 8 years of when they first start. It's like 8 years and it's broken up between the years, different like topics. I think the first like 2 or 3 years is like philosophy. Then you do like theology, church history, and like that's all broken down into other like classes and subjects more in depth. But it's like 8 years from when you start seminary school to when you are like ordained as a priest.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like fun.
All the seminarians are super chill though. There's like 5 of them that are in the cathedral right now, just hanging out. We met them at the potluck. Super cool
They like
dudes.
all walked through. So we're sitting at adoration, and you got confession, and like during the thing, and I'm like, all right, I got to get my ass to confession because I've been a sinner lately, and so I was like walking out the door to go to confession because it's like just outside the front door, and I opened the front door, and then all of a sudden like 5 dudes in St. Augustine Diocese collared shirts walk out, and I'm like, the first one comes out, I'm like, oh, okay, there's 5 of you. What's happening here? I don't understand. And so whatever, I go to confession, adoration, whatever. We get to the potluck part of things, and one of them standing next to me. I'm like, oh, so you work for the diocese? He's like, yeah, I'm in seminary, so kinda. And I went, oh,
That
so
makes a
I'm
lot
just
of sense.
stupid. Got it.
So, like, what happens when you go to confession? You don't have any sins to confess.
Why are you going to confession then?
Well, the thing is, like, when you go to confession, like, rule of thumb is most people, you go once a month. Some people need to go more often.
Me.
But me too, yeah, I'll admit. But if you confess and you genuinely forget, like, a sin that you've committed, that's still forgiven. But if you genuinely withhold a sin, you're sinning, so you have to go back. But if you do what we call an examination of conscience, you kind of sit down and think, okay, like,
For example,
have I
if
done
you
X,
forgot
Y, and
about
Z?
that one time when you touched your penis and just, didn't tell the priest about it.
Oh, the old sin of Onan.
Exactly, yes. But if you make an examination of your conscience and you
penis.
do it genuinely, before Nico interrupts me again, you don't need to go because there's no you can't think of anything that you've, of course, any sins you've committed, and there's also criteria you need to meet in order for it to be a sin, like you need
touching your penis.
He's really like hung up on that, or is that just me? He just keeps going on.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
this, or
I'm like listening
a little
to this,
like weird.
I'm
like
genuinely curious.
I'm ruining
So-
everybody's time. I love it.
So I forget exactly what all the criteria are off the top of my head, but of course you need to know that's it's what you're doing is a sin. You need to, of course, willingly choose to do that, and then I think also feel remorse for doing it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of younger people don't realize that if you receive the Eucharist while you're in a state of sin, or in a state of mortal sin rather, that is sacrilege, big no-no, and a lot of us didn't know that, so we unknowingly received the Eucharist when we're in a state of mortal sin and committed sacrilege, but we didn't know that that's what that was, so we can't really be liable for that because we had no idea.
What if you get hit by a train in between confessions and you had something that you needed to confess?
Well, I think there's you could have there's some instances where I think God, like, there's the intent to confess. Like, if let's say I'm driving to church, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna confess. I'm in a state of mortal sin or whatever. I did this, and this, and I gotta confess. And I get hit by a bus. I get hit by a train, and I die on the way to confession. Which I'm sure there's examples of that happening to real people. I'm sure the intent is there because, of course, if God makes all the rules, He can decide, the rules, and if there's exemptions to those rules.
Actually, that reminds me of a story I heard from somebody. They were saying their grandmother killed themselves, like shot themselves, and he's like, oh, well, she's going to hell or going to purgatory or whatever, and he's like, I can't, the guy was having a hard time thinking about, his family member having to go there, and then a priest brought up something good. He's like, you think it's impossible for God to, like, in between the bullet leaving the gun and hitting her head, for him to just stop time and, like, get her to forgive or get her to repent?
Well, I mean, that is another thing. A lot of people, when you have irreligious or secular people and they think about God, they think it's like, the Sky Daddy argument or whatever, and which is a real thing with atheists. But people don't realize that He exists outside of time and outside of science. You get to a certain point, you can't explain a lot of stuff that happens, and that's where we get miracles from. But there is also, like, apostolic pardon, where, let's say, a guy there was one example I saw on Telegram a few months ago. This guy got in a really bad motorcycle accident, and there was a priest that was like, I want to say he was Eastern Rite because he kind of had the whole Orthodox getup, but guy gets hit on a motorcycle. He's like minutes from passing away. They're carting him into the ambulance, and you have this Orthodox priest sprinting down the street, stop, and he gives him the apostolic pardon, which is like, that's like a confession. Even if you're not able to confess, I forget exactly what the words are, but they do the apostolic pardon, and they are like, all their sins are forgiven on behalf of the priest, and then in a state of grace, so they can, die not with the stain of sin on them. And that's kind of similar to blast rites.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, this is gonna. I think I'm gonna title this episode "Catholic Facts with Catholic Mike."
Yeah,
Yeah.
new segment for the show.
Yeah.
I'm down for it.
Trying to interrupt them with penis jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just devious. You just can't stop him. Like I tell
That's my
Jeremy,
role,
friend
bro.
of the show, I'm like, Nico's just like, he just says whatever he wants, like whenever. He's like, I'm like kind of impressed sometimes, but other times it's like I have this like human like cement wall here, just like stopping everything I'm saying, and like it's like, I mean, he just says whatever on his mind, and then sometimes that's to almost always my detriment. It's crazy.
Usually it is because you start talking shit, and I'm like, oh, really? Would you like to continue, Mr. Everything that's wrong with you?
I give you a hard time because you're one of us.
I know, exactly.
I give him a hard time because it's fun.
Exactly.
That too.
It's
Can't
just
ever
fun
forget
to give
about
people
that.
a hard time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Josh is fat and you're gray-haired, so who cares, you know? And I don't know, name something terrible about me. I can't think of anything other than how great I am right now.
I was gonna say the hairline, but I'm not going
That
there.
is there.
I'm
No,
not.
That's there. That's there. It's worse than my widow speaks worse than yours, dude. Like,
Well, a widow speaks not necessarily receding hairline.
yeah, not necessarily. It just goes in a weird.
If it's like, because I have like a cowlick on my like left temple here, so that hair is always in a weird spot. But that's not necessarily I'm like my hair's thinning in that spot. So
Fair enough. Fair enough.
it looks like it's thinning, and sometimes, but it's just sometimes it grows in a different direction or
I
whatever.
mean, you just look like you're thinning in general, like as a human, like you are a twig.
But now we're attacking my weight. I come to the show. I bring all this
You bring
knowledge.
so much to the
expertise.
show. Okay, it's
He
wonderful.
stops the buzzing.
He does. He did stop the buzzing.
You're welcome, by the way.
Thank you. There it is. It's a live thank you. That's all you get.
But yeah, the skinny, I have to just hit the gym. I have to just go like 110%. I had to just start doing that.
You know who could help you is my dad.
Oh, actually, next time I see him, I'm gonna talk to him about workout plans, and I have a bunch of stuff written on my phone as far as like a push-pull leg day, and then also kind of doing leg and core because legs I only have like a handful of things
Just
to
do what he tells you to do. Trust me. He'll come up with his own thing, and it's based on actually. He'll probably do like an assessment with you and like, make you do a bunch of weird shit, and then give you a plan based on what you can do, and where you're at.
Yeah, I gotta just start going. It's
Yeah.
like but I've been busy with like a million other things. So this week especially was no different.
Mm-hmm. It's true. We get distracted so easily. I love it, man.
Yeah. Yep. We go down different rabbit holes, all that stuff. And our unofficial sponsor, Methylene Blue.
Our unofficial sponsor of meth.
Methylene Blue, if your toilet gets dyed blue,
Sponsored by meth.
from drinking too much methylene blue.
It's like the Kool-Aid man turned blue and he's coming through your toilet.
Yes, yeah. But if you dye your toilet bowl, I found that bleach and hydrogen peroxide work the best. It's not good to mix them both, at the same
Yeah, isn't that mustard gas?
Yes, yeah. But if you bleach first, then you flush the toilet, and then you use hydrogen peroxide, it'll take the blue stain off.
Shout out to the King of the Hill episode where
Peggy, that's the formula for mustard gas.
trying to clean the bathroom and almost gasses the entire neighborhood. Josh,
Peggy Hill.
you just made mustard gas.
Exactly. I don't know. Whoops.
Ooh, another $1.
That's 2.
At this rate, I'm gonna have my own chair.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
You haven't earned that privilege. You can have the one that's got paint all over it downstairs now. That leather one.
That was a brand new chair.
Oh man, you didn't like wrap it with like plastic or something before you painted it?
It was given to me for free, and I
Get
just
like a
needed-
trash bag.
Yeah,
Get like a
Okay, you weren't available, so I didn't have access to trash bags. Sorry.
Nico, if you need any help with your apartment, painting, moving stuff, let me know.
You're
I
probably working. Yeah.
I work 10 minutes away. I'm off. I'm off Monday,
Buddy,
Tuesday.
I was started at 9 a.m. after mass this morning.
You could have texted me, called me. I mean,
I told you at mass. I was like,
yeah,
dude.
but I'm talking about specifically the chair. If you get like, I was like, oh, should I do this? Or should I do that? It's like,
I'm gonna hit you with a chair.
Yeah, that chair. Brittany purchased that chair for $20.
Oh, that's the sticker was right then.
Yeah, gave it to you, and then you got paint on it.
Well, it'll come off. The paint comes off. It comes off the floor. It'll come off leather.
Yeah, I guess the acetone won't ruin that.
No, they're not with acetone. You can use other things. Jeez, not everything has to be a chemical experiment explosion of like death and destruction.
Hey,
But it does make it more fun.
it does. Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can mix with bleach that's not good for you.
Like what?
Well, I mean, hydrogen peroxide for one.
Well, that's the first one, yeah.
Yeah. I used to have like a little video saved so I could know, but
Why?
why not?
A better question indeed.
Yeah, you might need that.
You might as well be prepared for something if something bad happens. Like diarrhea.
Yeah. That's like your other favorite, like wieners and diarrhea.
I am 5 today.
I was just about to say, Nico just tells me all the time he's like 5 years old,
He
like his
loves
like
poop.
mentally.
Dude,
Loves
I
poop.
can't help it. It's funny. Poop
Bro,
is
and
funny.
this is coming from someone who's worked in a preschool classroom. Like,
I
the
work
maturity
with
level
adult
is like-
preschoolers, okay? I have to laugh at something.
I mean, I
probably
guess.
laugh too much at work because like I hear things and they're so ridiculous that I like can't help but giggle. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, like this one thing where like we had a new patient and he was offended because someone it was a person who like was still detoxing and they were just mumbling a little bit, which happens,
Yeah.
it's part of the thing. And one of the patients was like, I can't hear you, speak up. And for some reason that offended him. And all of a sudden at the intervention we had, he was like, well, this is just like, they got their little white boys club. Meanwhile, he's like, he could totally pass for white. Like, I don't know what ethnicity but like it just, I'm like, what are you then? I'm very confused. Like, you're wearing a Yankee hat. Like, what am I missing?
I would have been like, you're not white?
Like I was just in the
Whoa. Mishap.
9/11.
Mr. President, another monster
escalated
can has
quickly.
hit the end table.
Anyways, I forgot what I was talking about.
Patient, ethnicity, white boys club.
Oh yeah. That was it, I guess. Oh, I was sitting in there and it was like I wasn't even like talking to the guy. It was two others that were talking to him and like handling the situation because he was upset. And I'm just sitting there listening to it, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, it's like a little white boys club," and I had to hold my laughter in because I just that's hilarious. That's the struggle I go through, because if I laughed out loud at that moment, we probably would have lost the patient to AMA because I'm rude. But I champed it though. I held it in.
Nice.
And then after he left, we were all like, wow, that's hilarious. White boys club. This is an addicts club. It doesn't matter what color you are.
Yeah.
The disease doesn't discriminate.
I saw a pamphlet yesterday, and it was black in AA.
Well, AA might discriminate, but
No, it's just, I don't know, I think,
no, they don't. I'm kidding. Don't kill me.
I
Everything I say is a joke. Don't take it seriously. Not even my stories. Half of them I'm making up.
he's 100% serious.
Facts.
But yeah, I was gonna read it, but because for some reason I don't know why but there's significantly less, black people than there are white people
In
in
AA?
in recovery
in
in general.
recovery, yeah.
General, yeah. I don't know.
Why is that, do you think?
I don't know.
Tiptoe through that one.
I'm not sure.
Me either. I don't want to answer that one. I'm not gonna.
That's not one you're gonna go for.
Nope.
I don't know enough about addiction, so not my wheelhouse.
You know enough about the subject.
In the advice of my legal counsel, I plead the Fifth Amendment as to not incriminate myself.
I don't know.
There you go.
I think maybe like in the black community, going to rehab or not or asking for help for an addiction is seen as weakness.
Well, actually, something I can tell you, because I've been watching tons of anime lately, is the Japanese
here we go.
community. Shut up. The Japanese community is actually like very like anti-recovery. Like they don't. It's very taboo.
Yeah, because it's a sign of weakness to ask to
Yeah.
be dependent on a
It's-
substance or ask for help.
Yeah, it's just like if you admit you have a problem, it's like really weird. People stop talking to you.
Yeah.
Like it's a whole thing, which is why and it's very odd too, because the culture, especially with like the bosses and everything, like the culture is this weird thing where like everyone has to go out and drink with the boss, or with the like drinking's a huge part of their society apparently, and I'm like that's gonna cause some issues. So the AA community out there is definitely like not. It's there, it's there, but it's not great like it is here.
Yeah, they're really on that anonymity.
Yeah, they're really on that, like, I am wearing a disguise to a meeting, which I think I have a dream right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you better choose them next words real careful.
I have a
Martin.
dream cast, actually.
Okay.
But I have a vision, actually. I'm like, what if we brought recovery to Japan and was like, all right, let's try to debunk this BS. Because it's BS. Like, let's get people healthy instead of letting them die of alcoholism. Because I'm sure it's happening. I don't know the numbers, but if it's part of the culture, like, you never know. I mean, that could be why there's a high suicide rate.
I wonder if they have crack in Japan.
No, actually,
Asking the important questions.
actually, drugs are super not allowed in Japan. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Like, weed is like, if
Big no-no.
if you're caught with weed, you're like in jail for a while.
Yeah,
And
it's a long
I don't
time.
I don't know if that's true, but I know it's like super like shameful for you to like get caught with drugs.
Yeah, they have a big like shame culture. So anything that's not seen as like the cultural like norm per se, in some cases they're very. I mean, in some cases that stuff is bad for the society, but
It can be
very frowned upon.
Yeah, but I mean, it can be. It's just like, but what do we do about the people that legitimately suffer from the disease and can't help themselves? Like, what do we do? What do they do with them? And, like, obviously, that just kind of pressures them into going into that famous forest that Logan Paul once randomly went to.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
he went there?
Suicide Forest. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Remember he went there and filmed it. Oh yeah,
It was like a while ago, but
a couple years ago. Yeah,
yeah, he was wearing like a Yoda hat, and it was like super offensive.
How far did he go into it?
he went
Oh,
like deep in the forest, like accidentally filming like dead bodies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I hear like reporters go to that forest and then they don't come out.
Yeah, no, he's not invited back to Japan for that reason. They're boxers now, right? And there was an event in Japan, and Logan Paul was not invited, but his brother was.
Just because of the suicide forest thing?
Because of the video and how offensive it was to their culture. Like that went viral for like all the wrong reasons.
Well, why was it offensive to their culture?
Because they were disrespecting. He was disrespecting the dead.
Yeah, like I mean, literally filming dead bodies.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like not realizing, hey guys, I think that's a dead body over there, and the camera turns over and sees that, and of course they censor it in the YouTube video, but they still uploaded that, and that was, I remember that was a huge ordeal.
He wasn't like playing with the bodies though.
No.
But he was walking on what is probably considered sacred land, and kind of belittling it.
I thought it was cursed land because everyone goes there and then commits suicide.
Well,
Cursed.
some people see it that one as a curse. Well, I mean, I guess it's more like hollowed ground than it is like
Oh,
holy
yeah,
per se,
yeah.
because a lot of people go there and not come back. A lot of
Yeah,
people kill themselves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Anyways, the point is, I think that we could fix that. I feel like it would be cool to fix that, and that would be like a cool life goal to achieve, but probably very improbable. But I believe in me.
I mean, I'm saying a mission trip out there would go kind of hard. A lot of holy sites out there. A lot of the birth rates going down.
I want to go to Nagasaki.
That would be sweet. That'd be. I'd be down for that.
Yeah, the Catholic capital of Japan, right?
Yep. So the cathedral or the church that was there was actually like bombed during World War II.
On the cathedral.
Yeah, and it's it's a big miracle. Like the cathedral like survived. You can see pictures of the entire city leveled, and that one like cathedral or that one church is like still standing after the bomb dropped.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's if you believe the bomb dropped.
Well, I mean, you go there and ask him if it dropped.
I don't think I'm
Actually,
going to.
don't go to Nagasaki though. Go to Hiroshima. It's a little different over there.
Yeah, it's probably a real touchy subject.
Yeah, Hiroshima is like super bitter about it. Nagasaki though, the Catholic one, they're like, we were the sacrifice for the end of World War II, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good way to look at it.
It is.
It's a positive way. Don't get me wrong, it was tragic and horrible, but it's
a better outlook than, for the most part, compared to everything else that happened.
Better than Hiroshima, I guess.
Well, I mean, when Hiroshima and Nagasaki were bombed, they did drop leaflets in the cities beforehand, and the Japanese were like, "Oh, this is probably just propaganda. They're not going to do anything." Bomb drops, and you've got several hundred thousand people pass away.
Nagasaki wasn't really originally the target either.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's also a smaller city, and like I said, they also dropped leaflets on Nagasaki. Then they realized, oh, we're getting these leaflets again. The city that got wiped out got these as well. Maybe we're going to get wiped out, and a lot of people were leaving as well. So there's a couple of different things that led to Nagasaki not being as having a less death toll compared to Hiroshima.
Yes, very interesting. Gone through a plethora of subjects today.
Yeah.
Yeah, what time are we at?
We're at 41 minutes, and we're at 42 minutes exact right now.
And I was worried about not having any topics.
Yeah, I know, right?
Just pad that runtime, baby. Let's go.
We touched some recovery stuff. We've touched some Catholic stuff. We've touched some penises. I mean, no, that's not true.
We should just
Only
have
Mike did.
It should be the penis jar. Whenever Nico says that, like he says that way often, more than swearing.
No, that sounds way wrong. But just don't.
You could just call it the pee jar, the letter P.
That's even worse. Why do you have a pee jar?
Look, if we're gonna fund the show, and you swear, you say the F word maybe like 3 times.
He's been getting really good about it.
Yeah, he has been getting better.
Only 2 this time.
But if you say that more often, and you put money in because you say it more often, that's going to entice you to say it less. And if you don't, it's going to help fund the show. So you get about the best of both worlds.
Where's your contribution, dickweed?
Oh, yeah. You're welcome for fixing the grounding issue, bringing all the extra audio equipment.
Come on. What have you done for me lately, baby? Come on.
It's not a sales job.
Let's forget all the free music lessons and then your free music gear and all that, too. I can just hold that over him for the rest of his life. I'll have no problem.
This dude is talking about pee jars and stuff, so I mean...
The letter P.
Okay, but you're going to say it like that, it's going to sound wrong.
All right.
Is that...
Well, let's circle back to the recovery in Japan, right?
Yes, she came back.
Let's circle back. I'm going to have to put that... I still have that saved. So
trying to put that on ice for a second there.
But the bringing the recovery to Japan, why not do like... bring the Japanese addicts to America?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, you could do that, but I mean,
it is going to be cheaper to just teach them English and then fly them over here instead of us going over there and getting hotels and whatever.
Or you can get like a Japanese addictions counselor, right, and have like a rehab over here in America, and then they just go on vacation so they don't have to worry about the public shame of it.
Oh, he's got it all planned out.
Yeah.
That sounds like
we're getting somewhere.
We're getting somewhere, indeed.
Yeah.
Actually, dang.
Because then you don't have to change the culture.
Here's the thing. You'll have to have like some sort of consultation place in Japan, though, that's kind of disguised as like it's a recovery consultation, but it doesn't look like that from the outside.
Well, you could disguise it as a video game cafe. Those are huge over there.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, they have like maid cafes too, and all those weird
No, I mean
cafes are very
no,
weird
no. Like no, I mean like you go there and you pay however much what's their currency? I don't
Yen.
yen. Okay, so you pay 40,000 yen for like 2 hours, and you play on StarCraft on your computer or whatever, and you could those are huge over there. You could just disguise it as that. Oh, it's another video game cafe. Okay,
Well, I'm not talking about like literally disguising it. I'm talking about subtly referencing recovery in the name, so that it's not like a complete ruse.
Or you could like just hang up flyers, right? And then, because then they can go home and hit the website.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, there could be like more of a digital aspect to it. I mean, I don't know. I just think that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Like, what if someone's afraid of traveling, though, and doesn't want to go overseas?
Well, then they die of alcoholism.
See, that's not the solution that I'm going to accept. I'm trying to learn Japanese anyway. So
You got to go to any lengths, Nico.
I am willing to.
Well, they could come over here. They could cook for us. We could have some fire Japanese food.
Right.
Win-win.
Good sushi.
I mean, and I think we've pretty much gotten the our society has gotten the alcohol withdrawal,
Oh, the medically assisted detox.
Yeah, down.
We've got
to
that
a
down
science.
to a science, dude.
It's like almost pain free,
Every detox patient I run into now is like, they're waiting for like the hammer to drop, and I'm like, well, it's not gonna. Just wait it out.
Yeah,
Like, it's day 3. You've been here and you're not freaking out, so.
that's because you pump them up with enough benzos and
Librium.
and Librium. Yeah, then it never. And then you wean them off of that, and then they never go through real alcohol withdrawal, no seizures or all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there is still a chance depending on how bad the alcohol withdrawal is, but as far as like benzo withdrawal is concerned, and fentanyl and things like that, you have lesser chances. You won't really die from the withdrawal.
Well, on opiates, no.
On opiates, no, but from alcohol you can.
Yeah, alcohol and benzos you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, the opiate withdrawal, there's no softening the blow for that. You can shorten it with Suboxone, but I feel like Suboxone is like the absolute like drug form of procrastination. Like, if you don't want to deal with your withdrawal right now, just get on Suboxone and then deal with it when you get off Suboxone.
Yeah, I mean, look, Suboxone is something that people actually end up getting addicted to after their opiate addiction. So like what's actually happened?
Suboxone's an opiate.
It is an opiate, and the interesting
opioid.
thing is opiate, whatever. I've had patients come in before where they, like, their problem is Suboxone, and well, usually it's like a mix of that and drinking, because
you only need like 2 beers when you're on Suboxone.
Yeah, and it sends you down the trail.
Oh yeah.
And so we've got patients that'll come in just for Suboxone only.
Yep.
Well, not Suboxone only, but like Suboxone is like the only drug that they're really dealing with other than alcohol. So it's interesting because you have to use it right, I guess, and like wean people off, because it's the same effect as an opiate. I don't feel normal unless I have it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Suboxone is way harder to come off of. In my experience, like, I got on methadone to get off of Suboxone, and then I got back on fentanyl to get off of the methadone.
Just a vicious cycle.
And then I just cold turkeyed the fentanyl.
Ugh. That was snarferia.
Yeah. Well, the snarferia was coming off of the methadone and fentanyl at the same time. Precipitated withdrawal.
Double whammy.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's some wildness. I've heard that story so many times.
Yeah, that's one of Nico's favorite stories. I don't think Mike knows about snarferia.
No.
No,
idea.
it's when you sneeze, barf, and shit your pants all at the same time. Only like serious opioid withdrawal, like, you'll get that.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I won't. Don't worry.
You throw up and sneeze at the same time, so stomach acid comes out your nose and you shit your pants. It's an interesting experience. Not pleasant in any way.
I don't think, interesting isn't the word I would use. That sounds just horrible.
Horrendous is probably a better word to describe that.
It's brutal. Yeah.
Brutal fatality. It's quite the I mean, technically cocaine withdrawal, like whenever I do coke and alcohol, like that's only like next day stuff.
Yeah. You
But
get a couple days.
It's just like a really, really bad hangover. Like you've got hangover, then you've got coke and alcohol hangover. And
Yeah.
It's just like, I hate myself.
Right.
And, I have to go to work and I really don't want to because I haven't been able to sleep.
Yeah.
That's the...
But with coming off of opioids like fentanyl, like the last time I came off of it, I was like over 7 days in and I sneezed and shit my pants. Yeah.
We're saving people from snarferia over here.
Yeah. It was funny.
Noble cause.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I went out to the whatchamacallit, where the nurses sit, and I was like, hey, can I get a change of scrubs? And she was like, yeah, let me just finish this email right here. I was like, okay, just have somebody bring them into the bathroom for me because I need to get in the shower. I shit my pants again. And she goes, oh, baby. And gets up, comes around it.
Oh, baby.
Gets me my scrubs. Like I'm walking so slow and shuffling because I'm in excruciating pain. Just hunched over, looking like a shell of a person and the ghost of Keith Richards at the same time. Shit on my pants.
Give me shelter.
Different kind of brown sugar.
Yeah.
Episode.
Dang. You had brown sugar coming out your ass and brown sugar trying to help you.
She was so sweet. Yeah, they tried to get her a job over at that girl. Actually,
Got to bleep that out.
yep, I do. Oops, a doodles.
Whoops. Work for future Josh.
Yes. Sorry, future Josh.
Anyways, I think that makes for a good show.
We're at about 52 minutes right now. So
Word. It's a good show. Anyways, thank you for tuning in to the Speedballin Recovery podcast. I probably offended everybody today, including Mike. And Mike, I greatly apologize to you.
it's whatever, man.
Yeah, all right, you can go.
Wow. All right. When this podcast is over, someone's getting their rear end handed to them. It's not going to be me.
Brought to you by the word of the
He
day.
fell for it. The word of the day is paint.
Yeah, that is your word of the day.
Good night, everybody.